Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's see, I had a request from Astronomical Adventure. And even though there's no E at the end, we're just going to go with that, Astronomical Adventure. And I think they also contacted me via Discord. They had a different name there, but I didn't worry about that. Nonetheless, what they were interested in seeing was the best female mods, eyes, hair, body, texture, let's see, face, clothing, and they were hoping to go as close to, I guess, photorealistic as possible. There is nothing on the Xbox One that I've seen that is photorealistic. I've seen people produce some good pictures. I'm not sure how accurate they are for the Xbox One, such as this. Usually they end up saying they took these pictures on their PC, which I understand. And even these are not photorealistic. They look good. They look really nice, but they're not photorealistic. And as far as I know, even on the PC, you're not really going to get photorealistic. You can get pretty good, better than on the Xbox. You can get really good, but photorealistic is another story, because for me, I'm thinking it looks like a person, and you wouldn't know the difference. And I don't even know if that's possible even in the PC Skyrim and those mods, okay? Just because the game has its limitations itself, and etc., etc. I mean, even out of the new games, I don't see photorealism. So I see some good looking tunes. I mean, some of them look really nice, but I don't see any that I look at and say, oh, this is like a real person. You're seeing and playing a real person. Some are very close, but not to that point. Not that realistic. Not photorealistic. Like this. None of them are going to look as realistic as the picture of half this guy's face. Well, actually, that may be from Skyrim, but still, I think even this picture is a little too realistic to expect to get that on the Xbox. I might be wrong about that, though, if you look at that closer. It's too bad we can't get a better look at that picture. Maybe I'm thinking too highly of it. But anyway, whoever did this did a very good job, at least. It looks better than what I usually see. Let's see. So, what I was going to do first was I was going to try to take it and just look through some of the mods I have that I think are some of the best mods you can get for... mind you, this is going to be subjective. It's going to be largely subjective by me. Now I'm going to skip over this vanilla mod where all it's doing is shaping it to the 7 base body. That's just for the stuff you see. When it comes to what I consider to be some of the nicest medieval looking armors and some stuff that maybe fits in Oblivion a little bit, I like Nord Wars armor replacers, like the vanilla armor replacer and the unplayable faction replacer and the light guard, and then the Civil War overhaul. And this brings back some of the Imperial armors from like Oblivion, which makes more sense to me. Suddenly in Skyrim, the Imperial armors started looking like the Roman Legion, which didn't make any sense, since in Oblivion and even in Morrowind before, I believe, they kind of already had their own style. So it was kind of odd that we kind of changed over. But nonetheless, so I like, these are all Nord War replacers. This is even an Elven and Orc replacer, and this is the Nordic Fur replacer. And then that's it. Okay, so these are the armors that I think look the best that you can squeeze into your game. Yeah, this one's a little big, but overall, these aren't too big to squeeze into your game. They can be done. Now, if you're looking for something racy or skimpier, we would have to go evaluate that based on the type of body you like, etc., etc. That becomes a much bigger deal. But I wasn't going there, since we hadn't, that wasn't really a thing. Now, if you want your people in the game to look as good as possible. Now, first of all, there's Lynn's Skyrim NPC Overhaul. It's really good, and it does do the best job of making most of the men look a lot better and look good. And it does an okay job on the females, but I overwrite that with Botox because Botox does the best job with the females, giving them a nice face and a nice hair. Okay? And is it photorealistic? No. But it's nice, it's good, they all look good. Some people complain they look kind of samey. I don't see, all of them look kind of samey. Like if you use Botox, or if you use, where was that Beauty of Skyrim we were looking at, that guy's face a minute ago? Or if you look at Beauty of Skyrim here, if you actually find this mod and look at it, their faces tend to be very samey too. It's just it's a different type of samey in that some of them have these long elven or horse faces, depending on how you look at it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a matter of what you like. If you look at, I've shown Beauty of Skyrim before. You can look up, there's a video, maybe more than one. If you look that up and actually test it out and look at it, you will see, what is this? This is a patch. Finding the actual mod is difficult. That's funny. This is the actual mod. Okay. Anyway, it's pretty big. They don't look like that. That picture is actually deceiving. They don't look like that. It does change faces, though. It does change humanoid NPCs, elves, red guards, everybody. But I found that too many of them just had these long, weird faces, kind of like the vanilla elves have these long, weird faces. I found that too many, even humans and others, just had those long, weird faces that I don't like. If you like that, if that's your style, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I tried Morgan's Npc Replacer recently, and my problem with it is it has a lot, and you have to have all 3 files. It has a lot of stuff in it. I didn't like this as well. I don't know. If you just look at this picture, I mean, it's sometimes the faces were too light for the bodies. And there were just weird things about it that I didn't like as much. However, this was not bad. It was good, but I still preferred Botox. So, I just did. So, this still looked good. This was still a good replacer, and the girls looked good, but I don't know. I already preferred Botox anyway, and it's hard to get me to change, you know? I was one of those people who, I don't know, a year or more ago, before Botox was ported over, I had put that request in to see if it was possible to get it ported over. I just never heard back from anybody. So then when Morgan Hilson did that, I was like, yay, you know, and I really liked that, and I used that. So anyway, so out of the replacers that you might like, which would be Morgan's Npc Replacer, the Beauty of Skyrim, oh, I hit the wrong button, or Botox, I prefer Botox. You don't have to agree with me. You can simply try the others and see what you think of them, and I do have videos on them if you want to look them up. Now, let's see. So that covers like the armors and the NPC replacers. Now, I'm going to come back and revisit some of these topics, okay? But for right now, I'm just giving you a quick rundown on what I really like the best, and it's really the stuff I use. That's why I can say this. You'll find in most of my load order videos and stuff that I'm using these mods, especially since I've been... I can't. Okay. Especially since I've found these Nord War armor mods I really enjoy them. I think everybody's heard me talk about them for the past few months. They're probably sick of hearing me talk about them, but I like them. So there you go. They look really nice. I mean, some people really like the Old Kingdom armor replacer, but I found it really to be, for the size it is, it didn't really do very much. It repaints a few things. It doesn't, not to be mean to them. They did good work, but it just wasn't, I don't know, wasn't enough of a change for me to feel like it. Now here, this takes up a lot more space. I admit it does, but I'm getting a lot of solid, really changes, you know, real changes. So let's head down past the replacers and past the NPC replacers. Now, and you can make the old women in your game look young, which is kind of weird, and it doesn't, and I will say this, it's not 100%. Okay, it will make most of the old women in your game look young, but not all. Okay. So let's move past that. Let's move past, these are immersive winches mods. These do not really affect the way your people look. Now what I tend to use on my character is KS Hairdos Lite. Now you can get the full version if you prefer. I just don't need that many different hairdos. And then, since some people in the game, it seems like depending on what you do, it seems like there's almost always a few characters in the game that have some vanilla hair, even if it's just guys or whatever. This just makes their hair look a little better, this superior lore-friendly hair, and it's just a little more saturated. It just makes it look a little better. This is the Light Definitive Beauty Pack. It's kind of like an Adorable Females type of mod, where it does a few things to make your girls look a little better. Now, there is a full version of this that has been brought back. Let me find that and show you real fast, because I was just there on it earlier. My problem with it, there was several problems, but my main problem with it, if it's accurate and working correctly, and wow, why can I not find this thing? It's here, just give me a minute. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is the old full version. Now it's not the same as it was, because now it requires the R246 concept, which is good. It should. Used to, it just incorporated a lot of the R246 stuff in it. I don't know why it's, well, yeah, I do know partly why it's so big. Partly why it's so big is it has so many skin colors and things like that that you can hardly get that bar to move. And if you download it and try it, you feel free. But it just has too many. It has too much as far as different colors. So, and it's, you know, it's over 61 megabytes. My version, the light version that I use, I think, how big is it? Is it 30 or 40 megabytes? I don't remember. Okay, it's 45. So, and it mainly cuts out some of that drastic amount of like skin color and stuff. That's like way, you would have to look at that mod. I've got a show on that too. If you find it, if you search for it, you can find it. And there's just way too many skin colors. You can't possibly look through them all on an Xbox very easily. Maybe when we got, in the future, when we have like full mouse control or mouse options, maybe on a slider, then if it had hundreds of colors like that, it would be more feasible. But for right now, using a controller and sitting here while it clips through each one, it's just too slow, and I can't abide by that. So also for my character, I use the R246 concept, and this is where you're going to get most of the really pretty faces that you see in Skyrim, in my opinion. Now, I have, using the vanilla face, I have gone through in the past, and I made some girls that I thought looked pretty good. Okay, I did, because the R246 mod was not around for a little while, and I did okay. They were, for for what they were, they looked good. They looked nice. But they don't look as nice as R246's work. Okay? That's just the way it is. Now, this character editor, I like it because it opens up some options that I would like, such as hair and some other things like that. Hair colors, and it gives you some more eye color options and some more skin colors. My problem with it is that some of it doesn't jive as well with R246. So what I end up doing is I kind of work around the issues. And I'm going to go make somebody new, and I'll kind of show you this. You do have to work around a few issues, though. There's no doubt about it. Some of the eyes and things that this mod brings in that they don't place right, and you know, most of the other stuff works fine. And the new hairstyles that they say basically merges other hairstyles. It's okay. I didn't really get it for that purpose. I was hoping this would just be an easy way to add in some skin colors and stuff that I like. R246 does offer some skin colors and stuff, but most of the really good stuff is only for the Nord. And they do give you good faces, though, for the Bretons and the Imperials and the Red Guards, but they don't get as much stuff as the Nord gets, so it's a, that's one of those things. So this opens up a few more options. You can give your person horns and stuff. It's some of it's silly. It is. But it's kind of fun. So I'm like, well, if I can find a way to make it work and it doesn't ruin everything, and so I experimented and played around and I got it to work. And it's okay. And I could load up Charity and show you that. This is the Green Girl preset if you want to use that. I used her to make Jade, who is not exactly this girl, but I base it on her and then I tweak it the way I want, because I like that preset, and I kind of like the silly idea of the green hair for some reason. That just somehow that speaks to me. So there you go. Let's see. That's for better males. You were really more concerned with females, if I remember correctly. Now I like mesh-only body replacers. I just want to get the shape I want, and preferably they have some sort of underwear that's okay. It's not too ridiculous, but just something, that's okay, such as this. So this is the 7-base OPPAI body replacer. I think someone was telling me it's just pronounced OPI. That's fine. I didn't care about that, but except for the fact that that's probably the way it really is pronounced. Anyway, this is a mesh-only body. It's a small mod. I use that because that has lately been like about my favorite. If I could get something, I guess I'm kind of odd. The reason I don't use Nephilim, there's several reasons. Nephilim is CBBE for one, which I find overall less supported and less useful in Skyrim on the Xbox. Now notice why I just qualified that. Xbox, Skyrim, less. Now, Morgan Helsing, though, has started doing more to support that. So that may change. You may find a lot more stuff. But in the past, for CBBE, all you found was just the CBBE Slim or Curvy and some of that stuff. And it just wasn't very interesting. So I've tended to stay in the UNP family here in Skyrim on the Xbox. So, and this is one now, another body that's really nice, but I would have to change all the armor and everything. Is the Ingeljest body, if you like, an even thicker girl. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I have played around with that, and I like that I like that quite a bit, actually. But I kind of backed off of that some, because there's only just a little bit of support for even that. There's not a lot of armors for that, and there's not a lot, there is a couple of things, though, and if you really like it, it's good. And Wickwaz, I think, is the one that either ported or created all of that. Oh, I guess since it's Ingeljest, I guess ported is the correct word. Anyway, so that's really good, and it would be worth my time to mess with that. It would. And I may mess with it more later, but right now, with the shows I'm doing and all, this seems to work, and it seems to be a good in-between that works for me. Depends on the body shape you like. So this body shape will not really show anyway with these armors. With all these armors, it will not show that body shape. And matter of fact, even the 7 base armor is going to be slightly different. So I guess I don't have any armor that really is OPI based, so it's not going to be perfect. I went too far. Sorry about that. Eyes. Natural eyes. Okay, the reason I use natural eyes. One, your character's eyes are very small. I don't really see them that often, and I don't see them ever being that big. I don't usually get that close up in my girl's face. When I do, it's still not the biggest feature. It's still not a huge feature. Now, I have tried other eye mods. I'll tell you, the last one I tried, I forgot the name to it. I liked it, and I was going to keep it around, but I found that it actually, due to my mods, okay, not blaming that mod, but I'm blaming due to the combination of mods that I use, it was actually causing the pixelated face on some people. So I removed it, and I went back to natural eyes. And that's what keeps happening. I keep trying these other eye mods, and I keep finding that somehow in the combination of mods I have, it gives me a pixelated face. And rather than torture myself and going through a lot of stuff for something that I really don't see that well anyway, I just go back to natural eyes. That's me. If that's, whatever that is, that's me. Alright. So we're going to skip the guys. Now for the girls, this is the best skin texture that I've found that works for all cases. And there's several reasons I say this. One is that I never have any weird issues with it. I never have... I've tried textures before where when I put certain armors on, it would stretch and uncover their parts of their breasts that you don't want being shown. Things like that. And it would look in a weird, distorted way, in a scary way, not in an interesting way, but in an awful way. And other things like that. Some skin textures cause some weird, somebody described it as a melted like a look. And then I've seen somewhere the skin texture just had horrid blacked out areas because they wanted to make sure they were safe for work, but they did it in such a way that it just didn't look right, and it looked bad, and it was obvious. So I didn't like that. And this skin texture appears to always work. Now, another good thing about this is one skin texture, it's face and body. When you split up, every time I've seen people split up like face and body, unless you can get the exact same texture for both, you're not going to get them to match perfectly, and you're going to have like a little discoloration line around the around the base of the neck, maybe right above the collarbone. And I don't like that, and it's very hard to match those. And I've tried the Master Skin Fix and stuff, and while it may be supposed to blur that or make that look better, it didn't really work well for me. That may be me, whatever. It just didn't. But this texture works very well, and it does have a separate texture for vampires, which I don't mind. All told, it's about, what is that, about 61 megabytes? Yeah, for both files. I think it's worth it. Now this is not the HD version, even. This is just a nice version. There is an HD version. And I don't use it because when I was doing it, I didn't see that much difference. Oh well, looky there, I can't. Ooh, we type so well, don't we? Anyway, how does that go? Is it AU? See, I'm forgetting how to spell because I'm too busy running my mouth. Anyway, oh, now I did it wrong. Anyway, there is an HD version. I couldn't tell enough difference to really make it worth my while. Okay, I'll get it right in a moment. Just give me a minute. I could not get it. I could not see enough difference to where I felt it was worthwhile. It's not that it's tremendously huge. It's just that, like here's the HD version. Here's the version I'm using, and it's under 55 megabytes. It does a good job. It makes them look nice. Now, not photorealistic. That's as far as I know, that's not going to happen. But then you go to the HD version, it's like 80-some megabytes. It's not too huge. And maybe it's a little better, you know, but I haven't really been using it because, here again, I only get to play in 4K occasionally, and I'm not really sitting around looking at everybody when I'm doing that. I'm usually doing something else. But nonetheless, there's nothing wrong with that if you are looking at it. But you can definitely... pardon me again, you can definitely get it and do the HD version if you think it's better. Now, I think this is the best texture overall, skin texture that I've found, and I've been using it for years now. I haven't changed well, I have tested others, but I've never really changed because I can't find one that's really better. Now, we could try the HD version, but here's another problem. My recording is only going to be in 1080p. It's not going to be in 4K, even if I do 4K on my 4K TV. My recording device only does 1080p, so it's only going to show you 1080p. I can't show you any better. We could try it, and I may play with that, since this is part of my initial thoughts and testing on this. But that's the textures I use. Now, I had also thought there was a couple of items that I looked at. Again, these aren't going to make anything photorealistic. It's just these might add a little fun or a little something to it. We could try the HD version of those textures, and we could try these different eyes, which I haven't done. Elegant, beauty, stunning eyes. Well, actually, I think I did try them, but again, there were so many different colors, and it was just such a big ordeal. Let me bring this over here. Anyway, I downloaded it in case we wanted to use it. Let me see if it, yeah, here we go. See, I downloaded it so we could at least try it. These eyes are really nice. I remember that, but I also remember it had the same problem as the skin problem in that one mod. There's just so many variations, and it's 200 and some megabytes, so it's huge. Let's see. There was this that I tried in the past, but I didn't like it. It's one of those that didn't look right. It just didn't look right for me. It just, I don't know what it is, but it didn't. So it says photorealistic mouth texture and stuff like that. I thought maybe we could look at it again for fun. I'm kind of, you know, just because it says photorealistic, I thought, well, you know, I'll try it for you. But I make no guarantees. This is a very small mod. Matter of fact, maybe we should look up fair skin and see if we can do a better. There might be a better fair skin replacer, but it'll probably be bigger. One of the reasons I'm doing this as kind of a warm-up to the actual work is that I'm probably going to have to really change up my load order to bring in some beautification mods and play around and make the girls look good. So I thought, as a kind of a beforehand, I would kind of do a little... Now, this was something I was looking at, was this. Ignoring that picture. This is closer to photorealistic sometimes, like that. That was on a PC, I'm sure. But that's closer to photorealistic. But do you want that appearance? You kind of have to decide that. I can't, you know, figure that out for you. But I can show you that. I can do as an option. I can show you that skin texture. Let's see. Here we go. There's the Fair Skin Replacer HD. And this is a little bigger. This is a little... Oh, Bethesda. Bethesda is not cooperating with me now. But it's a little bigger. It's closer to like the size of my texture that I like. Well, if Bethesda stops working for me, then... Oh, come on, guys. Come on, give me a break. Then I'll stop, at least for now, and maybe I'll just work on it while I can. Oh, man, but I was going to try to just kind of take you with me through the process. Okay, it's not going to do it right now, so tell you what, we'll come back to this and try this some more later. So that's just some initial thoughts on this, and so this, you know, I may link this up with my later show on this, or instead of having that, I may make this its own separate little like prelogue to doing that show. Because this would be a shorter, you know, if I add it all together, it becomes one big monster that you may not want to sit through all of it. So, but this was just to give you an idea. Some of the things you can look at, some of the things that claim to be photorealistic. I do remember that Fair Skin Replacer was not really any more photorealistic than what I have now. But it depends on what you like. So... we'll see if we can get this to load again. If not, then I'll give up. For now. I can move on and start doing some of the work I was going to do. So, yeah, okay. Alright, so it's not going to load up for us. One thing I can show you, though, where I was talking about R246. Who is Faith now? Is Faith... which one is she? Just give me a moment. I think she's the vampire girl. She is. Okay, so, well, she's not a bad example. Let's just load her for a second. And it's going to bark at me because I've changed some things. Yeah, I've done a lot of different things and some testing. It's okay. I'm getting ready to blow away a lot of stuff. And I'm going to create somebody new for what we're going to do. I may create somebody new for every texture, but I don't know. That's a lot. Well, it wouldn't be that much. I'm not going to play around with that many textures. But yeah, I haven't seen anything on the Xbox that is really photorealistic. Sometimes I've had some things that I thought made my water and grass and stuff look pretty real in the correct light and everything. But even that probably wasn't really, really photorealistic, so... much less the people. The people always look a little toony to me, and that's okay. I mean, we are talking about cartoon people, so... okay, so this is Faith, and she is similar. She has one of the R246 faces as a base. Now, that's not to say that I have not messed with it, and R246 may say, oh, you've just messed it all up, and that's fine. That's fine. But, nonetheless, I gave her some horns. She has a different hairdo, but it's one of the KS hairdo lights, and she's using the skin tone that I talked about that I use. Let's see. There shouldn't be any issues. Now, she does have... this is a 7 base armor in this case, you can ignore all my crazy enchants. I forgot about that. I really over-enchanted her, but that's okay. Alright, so this is her skin and everything the way she is, okay? And I consider that to be really good. I know it is probably not perfect, and it does have the little shadow effect, which everybody does not like. I understand that. But
it should put on some coverings.
Move along, move along. We're trying to do something here. Anyway, but not everybody likes that, and I understand that. But I don't know. Overall, I think it looks good. If we go to someone else, that's not funny. Can we hit the right thing here? Let's try it. If we go to somebody else, well, like Jade that I told you about, I based her off of a different. Is that the same? It's probably about the same. It's probably gonna bark at us again. I based her off that other preset, but I'll show you. She's her own thing. In general, I just try to make the girls look as good as I can. I haven't really tried to go for like photorealism and that kind of thing. But here you can see her. Her face is different, and I've given her some vampiric eyes and stuff just fooling around. And she's wearing some of the Nord War armor. Oh, you can leave the necklace on, that's fine. But she's wearing this, she's got the same skin texture. As the other girl. Now I also have the new Hope. Now she is a red guard. So she, yeah, it's okay, just load it up. She has the same skin texture and all, but of course she has a different skin tone, naturally. And I think it looks good on her as well. I don't have any. Do I have any? I don't think I have any active elves right now. So, so I don't have that to show you. I may try in our fooling around. I may try the HD. Let's see, what time of day is it? Oh, let's go around in the morning. This will be a little faster, and we'll be able to see her a little better. But the elves, everybody uses the same skin texture except, of course, the kitties and the Argonians, of course, right? Oh, did I go the wrong way? I wanted to go out of here. I needed to go down. Very well. So anyway, so here we go. She's out in the sunlight. And, of course, she's got a different skin tone, but the idea is still the same. Let me find her clothes here. Yeah, we'll just take off this. You get the idea. So she's using the same texture. And I just think that's a good texture all the way around. It seems to suit everybody. It seems to work well for everybody, in my opinion.
Don't think you can barter with me like I'm one of those damn shopkeepers.
Well, I think those are the same two guards. Anyway, So that's what I like about that skin texture. I just think it's really good. We could do the HD version, I guess. I could look at that again. It's been a while since I looked at it. Maybe it would look better to me now. I don't know. I do have a different TV than I had a couple of years ago. I just kind of assumed everything would look basically about the same. But you know what happens when you assume, so, you know, maybe we'll check that out. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to go and continue to work on this. This was just my, I guess my beginning thoughts. By the time you see this, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm already going to have the show out probably by the time you see this, or close to it, so I don't know that we'll be able to change a lot, but at least you'll kind of have the idea of where I'm going. I like the armors I use. I like the skin texture I use. I'm willing to try some more. The KS Hairdos, we can try the full one. You know, maybe I'll just fool around and try a few things differently. But honestly, if you use the mods I have right now, I think you would be just as well off. And the mods I have right now, again, for your character especially, and you know, for NPCs, it's going to be these replacers here, especially the 2 Botox for the girls. But for your character, I would suggest, and if you don't want some of these options that I do, don't even use these 2. Just use R246, and you'll be fine. And if you don't care about the guys, don't use that. If you really want better eyes, you can get better eyes. Now, like I said, all the eye mods, every time I do a different eye mod, I have some mod that doesn't like it, and it causes the freckled face, not freckled face. Freckled face would be okay. It's the, what do they call it? The Fruity Pebbles face. It causes that face glitch that nobody likes, the rainbow face. It causes those things. And that, as near as I know, that doesn't come from, I don't know for sure where it comes from. I just know when I did my test that last time, it was coming from the eye mod itself. So I don't have any issues with this configuration here with natural eyes. So, but we're going to try. I'm going to try. Like I said, I downloaded some mods down here. I think I'm going to make some room, and I'm going to download some more. I'm not going to worry about these. These are just extra hairdos you can try. But as far as the different skins and the different eyes, I'm going to try that, and maybe I'll download the HD version of my skin and the fair skin, and we'll try that since this is back to working. Let's see. So, you know what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, I'm going to eliminate some stuff and do a reset so that I'll have room to do what we're planning on doing. So I'm just not going to have room with everything I have right now. So something's got to go, so I'm going to get rid of some things, and when I come back, I'll have downloaded the other textures, and we'll just start going through them. I've shown you really what my girls look like with the textures I have, with the mods I'm using right now. That's what my girls look like. So that's like a base. Let's start from there as a base. I think they look good, and I think the NPCs look good with Botox. Did we really show that? Well, you can always look at my Botox video. I have one of those too. But you can look at most of my videos and see how the girls look with Botox and with these mods that I'm using. So, to come back, I'm going to try one of the other things, and I'll show you what we're trying, and we'll just take it from there one step at a time, okay? Alright, so this has been stage 1. So when we come back, we'll try to go through stage 2. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but it's going to be one of these other textures and maybe some different eyes. I'll create a new character, and we'll move that way. But this has been like just showing you the base of what I'm using and what my girls look like right now. Okay? Alright, So, yeah, this is gonna end up being one big show after all, because I don't see a way around that. If I release this in parts, I think it's gonna be broken up and too confusing. You can always skip through the parts of the video you don't want to see, if there's some part. So this may be long, but we're just gonna go at it as best we can. Again, this has been just the base. This is what I use, and these are actually my favorite things. But then we'll experiment with a few extra things here and see what we think of those, okay? Alright. I'll be back shortly. At least. I was downloading this KS Hairdos Side B 1K by Morgan Helsing. And these pictures here, like this, is the picture of the Nephilim body. And you can see the glowy, weird skin texture on all of these pictures, and that's one of the reasons I don't like that mod, other than the fact that it's CBBE, so I couldn't use UNP stuff with it. But it also has this weird glowy skin texture, which is included. If I could get just the mesh for the Nephilim body, that would be fine. There is a UNP work in progress body called Succubus body that Morgan Helsing did that is very similar, and you can use that instead. However, if you use that body, about the only thing that would really go with it would be maybe Ingeljess's armor, because Morgan Helsing took down the armor they had made for that style of body. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else, or maybe they made it for, well, whatever, the UUMP armor they took down. So, which is too bad. Too bad they didn't leave their version up. Their version was really the best version, but they never brought out a work in progress, and then I think they just removed it because it's not out there anymore. Anyway, so I've downloaded these hairstyles, and I thought, well, we'll try some hairstyles while we're doing other things. Let me show you what, since it's working, let me show you for the moment when Bethesda is agreeable and working with us. I'm probably going to remove these armors too to make more space for us to fool around with other things, but for right now I've left them. It's not a big deal. I always swap things in and out of my game, and I was going to so I was going to try these new hairdos. Let's go down and get them. Not any of these little ones. We're going to do a big pack. Let's just do a big pack of hairdos. I mean, if you really want to focus on your character more than anything else, like KS Hairdos Lite, it really has, what does it tell us? It has 25. Yeah, because it says 20 up there, then they added 5. So it has 25 hairdos for males and 25 for females. It's very balanced. So one of the reasons I like it is that it offers some for both. This is going to be, what is it, 300 hairs, and it's going to only be for girls. These hairs, yeah, are only available for females. So we're not going to be able to use these on guys, which is largely okay, but sometimes there's some hairdos that would be, you know, possible swaps. Let's see. So I have these. Let me just, I'm not going to complicate things. I'm going to keep things simple. These add other options to your character, but they're not really necessary. I mean, I really want to show you just like some of the best stuff. I'm not putting these down. These are both good mods. But if I'm just going to try to show you just the girls and try to do as nice a looking girls as I can, then that's what I got to do. So I'm going to go with this texture first. I don't think we're going to like it, but I thought let's just try it anyway. And we're going to go with these eyes. Now I think there's going to be far too many eyes, and I'm not going to have like an hour to sit here and go through them all, but we'll just get a look at what we have, and it'll give you a chance to see them and see what you think of them. Let's see what else. So the textures, the eyes. I'm going to stick with the same body. This is the body I really like right now, and that's what I'm going to use. You can, of course, choose to change your body at any time and do what you want. Okay, so I think that's everything I'm going to do here. I'm probably going to change up these armors. Oh no, wait, these armors are what I wanted to show you though. So I'm probably not going to change these armors. Okay. So we're not going to change these armors because I think these are the best armors. And I mean, if it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for skimpy armors, it's different. There are several skimpy armor sets you can find, and an easy way to find them I have found in the past. Let's see if this still works. There's a lot more of them than there used to be. Like here, see, you see there's the Nephilim. If you use that Nephilim body, there is that. There's this for, this is Pro-Man Slayer. This is their, what is this? This is their this is just the mesh body. Okay. Okay. This is the 7 base, OPI, BD, UUMP. This is from Wikwa. And this is a good skimpy mod if you want that. Let's see. Is this the one? This is the one Pro-Man Slayer did. This is the body and the texture. Does this have the tan lines? I don't remember. Yeah, I've got a video on it. And then there is this. This is the Ingeljest body clothing replacer. Again, it's another good mod. And if you use the Ingeljest body, it's nice. And then see here. Is this Modder 725? Yeah, they did their own. This is a CBBE Curvy version. And this is a UUMP version. And they worked it to work with Joy Perspective. And then this is a 7 base Bombshell version. Let's see. Here is, you can always do this. This is a muscle definition thing if you like that. It only works for UMP, but it does work. I think I showed that one time. If I didn't, I will. But somebody can let me know. Now, there's Spartans. Spartan did their own armor replacer, and it's really good. This is the better of the ones they did. This one's very good. It's maybe not as skimpy as some, but it is skimpy and it's nice, and they have their own body to go with it if you wish. I've done shows on these. You can probably look those up still. Let's see. And then here's the original thing Spartan did, but I guess Spartan was more unsatisfied with this. I don't know. Anyway, they didn't keep this. They made the other. I mean, they did keep it. It's still out here, but they made the other. And this was someone else's work here doing what they said was a realistic curvy. And let's see, is there anything else? You can find the Terra clothes out here. Let's see, this is for Seraphim, but I don't think Seraphim is really around anymore on the Xbox. Well, actually, Pro-Man Slayer does have a version of Seraphim that you can get. That's true. And their version looked good. This is a 7 base version of the Terra clothing, and this is a UMP version. Now, I think there is another, and then here's some 7 base UUMP. This is all add-on. This is not an armor replacer, but it adds a lot of stuff. I thought Morgan Helsing had done a Terra version of the Nephilim. A Terra version, a bunch of, like, had taken this Terra mod and made it a version of it for the Nephilim. I'm pretty sure they did. Alright, so you can still find a lot of stuff just by looking for UUMP. You can see all these body replacers. You could have probably already looked up BD UUMP because it's something that they say Bad Dog. Yeah, Bad Dog 1978. Is the one that created, I guess, this originally. So, alright. So you can always go for a skimpy armor like that. I guess that was our whole conversation here. And here is the Nephilim version. And it's the same, you know. I don't know. I Have I tried this? I haven't really tried that out yet, to be fair. I haven't. Because I would have to get the Nephilim body, I'd have to do all that work again, and I just haven't done that. I could do it, but if there's a real demand for it, I would do it. It's okay. It's just, to me, we've already looked at most of those pieces, so I don't know that there would be a great benefit to it, but we could look at it again. So, anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to go all the way down to work in progress and see if I can find that one thing I was telling you about. Come on. Alright. Why does that say Van Helsing? I really want to see the picture now. Anyway. Oh, somebody's doing the opulent. Haven't we seen this before? Nonetheless, let's move on. Experimental mod. Use at your own risk. Yeah, I bet. Use at your... Oh, here we go. This is what I was talking about. The Terra armor shaped for the Nephilim body. Maybe if I did everything that's out here for the Nephilim body, it would be worth doing, you know, worth doing the work and doing the shows. It looks like they're using that one mod I like of Whiterun there, but they may be using something else. I don't know. I have a feeling they do a lot of stuff on PC, but they definitely have. I think they have an Xbox, but they definitely do a lot of stuff on PC. So anyway, so that's something that might be interesting. So I'm really wandering around. I do apologize for that. I'm really all over the place. But just looking at some different things, I'm going to go and do some testing, and I'll be back. I just wanted to make sure that I told you about the different skin texture and stuff we're going to use, because I'm going to go and do a reset. I'm going to bring somebody in new. Let's see, did I get the hair put where it needs to be? I got the hair put there. I got the eyes where they need to be. And we might try the HD version of this too, but we'll... Didn't I download that fair skin? Hold on a second. I thought I downloaded that. Did I just look at it and not download it? Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I look at something, I'm like, oh, okay, I should download that so we can test it. So, okay, so I have... Why is this not showing up? It says it's here. You know, it doesn't show up in my list at all, though. If you see it in my list, write me a note and laugh at me, because I'm not seeing it here. Which I find to be very strange. Very, very strange. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do then. I'm just going to remove it. If it's not showing in my list, which is weird, it's something we can try out later after we do this other bit of testing here with these eyes and hair and skin, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead. I just find it strange that said it was downloaded and yet it didn't show. We'll come back and look for fair skin replacers though. Now this is the Ingeljest body and it has the 2K skin. It has a good texture with it. I would prefer just to have the mesh. I can't remember now. There might be a version with just the mesh, but I can't remember right now. It's not that important unless you're going to use that body, but I didn't know if you were. So this is the Fair Skin HD that we didn't download yet, but we'll try some of these. But I found some of these to look weird I don't care anything about the sweaty stuff either, like sweaty or wet or any other things that they talk about. I'm just like, no. I think you can get a curvy version, which I found, and it's huge. I don't know why it's huge, but I found that it didn't really work that well, but I might try it. I suppose we could try it. Anyway, I'll quit rattling on. Let's test these first ones. We'll come, look at that. That says that's downloaded too. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe both of these thought they were downloaded. That's odd, though. So we'll just try the HD ones and see what we can do with the best of the best. I'm going to leave these favorited, but I'll even delete my Beauties of Skyrim for the others. Let's come down here. Just to make some room. It's not going to hurt anything. I can bring them right back. I don't think Joe Knows is going to get rid of them. They've been out here for a long time, and I'm hoping that they will stay. So, anyway, we'll take our chances. Alright, so I'm going to go and do a reset and try some of this out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back again. Let's go in and look at this. We're going to make a new person. I think with all the game changes and different things, that's the safest way to go. Let's make a new person. We can make her, it doesn't matter, we'll keep her, she can be a Nord. That way she'll have all the R246 options. So. Well, okay, there we go. Okay, cheat room, good. It's going to take just, oh, there we go, didn't take too long. Now this is with that texture I was telling you about. I really didn't think you would like this, but you might, depending on what your idea of photorealism is. Alright, I'm not trying to be funny at all, I'm just saying it depends on what you like. Let's go through and find a preset. See, these girls, to me, and due to R246's work, they still look pretty good, but I don't like that texture because that texture makes them look too something. I don't know what the word is. Maybe flawed or something, but then on the other hand, if you think about it, maybe that's more realistic. So I wanted to show you this because you might like this better. You might think of this as photorealistic. I don't know. It depends on what you're thinking of. And of course, you can do whatever skin tone you want to do. I usually keep her on the lighter side, but sometimes, like especially if I'm doing a red guard, I will play them over on the darker side. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. She doesn't have to be super light or super dark. We can put her in the middle. It's fine. She doesn't have to be that big. We can make her in between if that bothers you. We can go for something a little less. I prefer big, but hey. You know, that's just me. That doesn't mean anything. It's just a game. Alright, so I'm not going to change her and give her any dirt or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to keep her just like this. So we can see this is her skin. Okay, so we want to be able to see that. Now, I'm not going to change her nose or any of that. Now, the cheek color is the one thing I might drop down. Now, bear with me. yeah, if we drop some of the cheek color, then she doesn't have as much of that red, because that seems like a little much to me. But it depends on what you like. You may like it. And then the lower cheek color, I always get rid of that too. Now that, to me, gives her a better appearance. But now, if we do these cheek colors, it does, see, it gives her a little more red on her cheek. And it is an option. I mean, that depends on what you like. So I'm just putting that back so you can see it. But I'm going to remove it. Because that's the way I am. So there we go. I removed it. And I'm going to get rid of the neck color, which I think is dumb. I don't know who thought the neck color was a good idea, but whatever. Alright. And no forehead color. You could do forehead color. I don't know why you would do that, but that's an option. Alright, eyes. Now I'm going to keep her eye shape the same. And I really don't want to mess her up too bad, but we're going to have to look at some different color eyes. Now, notice that that one eye right there we just looked at did not sit in the skull properly. That happens occasionally, and I don't worry about it. I just don't use those eyes. Especially when you have a lot of eyes to choose from, and some of these eyes, I think, are not made the same. So, I don't worry about it, but let's give this eye mod credit. This eye mod, look at this. You're going through all these different eyes, and that bar, that little counter is just barely moving. Because there's so many eyes to choose from, and I can just whip through them and give you an idea here. If you can keep up. If the film, I don't even know if the recording keeps up with all those changes. I'm hoping the recording does, and I said film like this is an old school thing, and it's not. But if the recording can keep up, you'll see these flashes. I'm just going to let it go for a minute. Because this takes a minute, okay? Bear with me. And you might see a few more freakazoid eyes that don't fit in the skull right, but most of them are good. And you do get a lot of variety here and a lot of nice eyes, and there's even some really weird glowy ones if you want those. I think, oh, there's that. I think we missed something back here too. I may not be able to get to it easily. There's some vampire eyes. I think that's probably what I saw. So it just depends. There's some different things. Pardon me. Okay, I don't know why I've got the hiccups, but okay. So there you go. Now that is some really bright eyes, and they're a little odd shaped, and they've got a small pupil. We're not even at the end of the stick yet. We're going all the way over. And this is from that eye mod. Now, did you notice that? There's some, yeah, some cat eyes. See those? Kind of cat eyes. So it's interesting. They threw in a lot of fun things for you here if you like this mod. My problem with this mod is this is so many eyes to look through, but it's not horrible. It's just really big for eyes, and I find that in the game I don't get to look at their eyes that much. I don't spend that much time staring at their face. Let's see, I want to do something. That's an interesting look. That is a dual or tricolored eye. But I want to do something strange of my own. Well, not of my own since I didn't make any of this, but something different. I was looking for maybe a green like that with the little bitty pupil. Nothing too unusual. Alright, anyway, so we've played around with eyes enough. You can mess with these eyes some more. I think the eye tilt is actually tied to this eye depth. And you can change it a little bit. See how they're droopy there, and that looks horrible. That was a horrible idea. I'm so sorry I did that. But you can fix her right up by sliding that over to the right. And that gives that little better eye slant. Now, if you liked it the way it was, you can put it back, but this is pretty good. So, alright, so we'll have to pick this up later. So, I will get back to this. The toaster just come back, so I need to go talk to her. So, we'll come back to this, though. We'll pick this up later. Alright, so we're loading back in. There's been about a day's difference. I think it was yesterday, might have been the day before, that I was working on this, but we're coming back into this request here to try to see what we can find and compare some beauty mods. That's the exact request, was to see the most, the best, most realistic mods, but I really have shown in the beginning what to me is the best looking and what I prefer the most. But then, taking it one step further, since let's see, Astronomical Adventure had mentioned getting photorealistic, I was trying to do something different and take us a different direction. If you like what we're doing here, let me show you the mods that are involved. Now I know I'm coming back from being away, so I need to kind of remind myself anyway, but two, just in case you like this appearance and this certain, while still a toon, definitely not a real person, still this gives her it gives her skin a certain realistic look, and this texture, and you have to play around with it, of course, to get things the way you want it to be, but the texture is the skin texture. We didn't get to finish everything we were looking at either, but the skin texture is this. I just call it unslawed pale skin. I really don't know what to call it, unsalad, but they didn't really spell it that way. I think this is by Manslayer. I think it was it a port? Yeah, they say clearly I am not the creator. This is a port, but it's a very nice port. It's got its own appeal if you like this skin. There's, I'm not putting it down in any way. It's got its own appeal. I didn't get to finish my character creation, so she's not totally done, and there were some other things we wanted to do. I left her with the name that R246 gives us as a default, which is Virago, I believe it is. Let's see, I'm going to do...
Which property do you own?
I'm going to do a simple one. I usually just go straight into Breeze Home, and I think this is going to be the same. It's an easy way to get into the game with my character and then go to the cheat room. So let's just do that. Okay, now I do have my display turned off, and I should turn that on for us. I can turn it off and take some pictures at another time, but right now let's just do this. Alright, so it's going to start some quests. I have some free things from the Creation Club and different things like that, so don't worry about those. Let's see, do we want to... Let me look at the magic here. The main thing is we want to have these three things favorited so that we can use the cheat spell and get to the cheat room. Now, one thing I have not done either... Hold on, let's check our power. So I haven't set the display enhancements the way I usually do. I usually use just a few simple adjustments, just add just like 3 clicks of saturation and 1 contrast. That's usually all I do. That adds just a little extra color and just a tiny bit of contrast. Not much, and it doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make some difference in the way things look. But I still think, let's go to the cheat room. I think we'll get a better look at her there. It's hard to see here. Let's see. Let's save this location to location 1 because this is where she came into the game at. Now let's go to the cheat room. Now I know I talk a lot through these types of things, so but it can't be helped. I mean, you got to understand what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. So my thoughts here was to look at her skin. Overall, I think her skin looks good. I think we took a middle of the road complexion. We didn't take a really super dark or super light complexion. You definitely can adjust that. Let's just go in. I don't want to change too much. But like, see, the skin tone is middle of the road. You could definitely lighten that up. Is that an improvement? It depends upon you. You can also darken it up. And again, is that an improvement? It depends upon what you think. Depends on how light you like your girls. I'm just going to go middle of the road again, kind of like we were doing. Let's see, what we didn't get to look at was we got through the eyes. I don't remember doing that makeup like that. She's got like blue over her eyes, but that's okay. I mean, we can leave that alone. I don't know if I had a chance to do any makeup on her, so we'll just leave it. That looks okay. You can always choose something different if you like, but for me, that's fine. The brows, as long as they look nice, human, and kind of curved, I'm okay with them. I don't really play around with the brows a lot. I think she could probably have a better mouth than that, though that's okay. I don't know. It's okay. The main thing she needs is some hair that's not vanilla hair. So now I have a big wob of hairs installed with that mod that I showed you, and I'll show it to you again if I need to. You have to find something that suits you, that doesn't have too much clipping, and you might want to find a different hair color. Tell you what, why don't we find a hair shape we like first, and then once we find that, then we can pick a hair color. This looks okay, actually. Let's try a few others. That looks okay. Some of these are going to be drastically different, and some are not. Yeah, I don't like some of the weirder things. I like that pretty good. I can't see enough of it though, but still, I don't like that type of thing at all. I don't even know why you would put that in here. Some of these are fine. Some of these are going to have a little too much clipping for my taste, and so I will probably avoid some of those. Though for some clipping, you can just shrink the size of her chest, and that will take care of it. So it all depends. I don't like that type of thing. I couldn't tell the back of that, but it looked interesting. That looks pretty good, even with the little extra color. Same with that. I don't mind the little extra colors. That's kind of cool. It's a little extreme, but not bad. Some of these are fun with the different colors, so now this is really a big mod. Oops, and I'll show that to you when we get done here. Just give me a moment or 10 to find a hairdo that I can. I like this hair. I've used this before. I would like to find something different than what I've used before, but nice. That's pretty nice. What's our hair color choices? Oh, there's quite a few. Okay. And you have kind of a two-tone hair, which you don't always have. I mean, some of them do and some of them don't. Yeah, a lot of different colors there and color variations. Well, I would jokingly say I'm looking for the perfect hairdo, but I don't think there is any such thing. That's not bad. Green hair for green eyes, though. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we would go with more of a red or something. Red's not bad. Not bad at all. I actually think I'm going to go back to that. Let's just, let's see. Do we like the darker red? I think I like the darker red. It looks more realistic. Okay, let's just roll with that. See, her name is Virago, and that's like warrior or warrior woman, I think. Female warrior. Anyway, we're going to stick with this for a moment. Let's take a look. Yeah, we're done. That's fine. Yeah, that hair looks fine. Doesn't create a lot of clipping. Now, my problem with this skin texture is it does look kind of dirty now. And I don't like for my people to look dirty. Now, it depends on what you like. Let's go back in here for a minute. I'm going to try some variations. Let's try the extreme light on her skin. It's probably going to be too light. But let's try it. She's a redhead, so it's okay if she's pale. So if you're looking for this type of semi-realism, I mean, this is something. And, you know, I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but that's an idea. To me, she just looks kind of, maybe too realistic for what I want in my game. I'm just playing a game, so I kind of like a fantasy appearance myself. And then there's this. Let's try this skin tone. And I know I'm jumping because we had the middle and I jumped from extreme light. Now we're going to go, this isn't really extreme dark, but it is darker. And it's as dark as it's going to give it to me right now. So, and that looks okay. I just don't like, if you notice how the skin looks kind of, I don't know, kind of granulated or messed up in some way. I don't particularly like that, like she's dirty or something. It's just not my thing. That's why I don't use this type of skin. So let's take her skin. Let's take it there. Let's try that. I don't think it's going to look hugely different, but it's lighter. It kind of fits the red hair and the green eyes a little better. Actually, the lightest probably fits that the best, because usually it's going to be a pretty fair skin person. I say usually, nothing is perfect or 100% in this world, but largely, I think of Irish and Scottish people, you know, and they usually tend to be more light-skinned. So, anyway, so there you go. This is one appearance using that skin. Now, I'm going to keep, let me show you the mods again. I'm going to make a save of her right here. Alright, so I'm going to show you the mods because we're going to replace these. We're going to replace the skin texture. I'm not going to mess with the eyes and the hair. I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. I am going to show you those mods. They're pretty big. Both the hair and the eye mod is pretty big. But if you're really going for something super bright and standing out, you really kind of have to go with a larger size file. I don't know what else to tell you on that. If you don't get the bigger file, then you're not going to get all the variety and things. So this is the KS Hairdo Side B1K, and this is from Morgan Helsing. Now there is a, I think a 512K on this. It's like a lesser version, but I'm trying to show you the best, okay? Because you want to see the best that you thought we could do, or that I think we can do. And this is this Elegant Beauty Stunning Eyes, and this is that Unslawed Pale Skin. Now we're going to try a different skin texture, and we're going to try, what else do I have here? Do I have anything else? Oh, I have all these little things. They're fine. They don't matter. They were things I was going to test and see if there was something worth doing a little show on. Alright, so we're fine with that hair right there. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get us a different skin texture. And again, we're using those eyes that I had listed there too. So let me, there, while we're close up on her, let me do, oh, I went to the wrong menu, didn't I? Okay, so I'll show you the eyes and the hair. Well, we did the hair mod. I'll make sure I point out the eye mod again. And then I'm going to move on. I'm going to go get a different skin texture. We're going to keep these eyes though. This is a very good eye mod, and it has a lot of eyes, and it's very pretty. It's just, it's very large. So, is that really a complaint? Well, we do have limited size, so it's kind of a complaint. But that's the Elegant Beauty Stunning Eyes, and they are really nice, but it is a really big file, as you can see, as opposed to my natural eyes, which is not a really big file. But you do have to admit that they stand out more, they're brighter, they show up better. And I do admit that. Alright, so let me switch this out to a different skin texture. I may have to remove some other mods to make room for everything I want to do for us, but that's okay. We're going to get to where we need to be so that we'll have enough character mods and examples for you to look at. So again, this is that unslawed texture, and the texture is what's really going to matter with your skin. Now R246, their work really gives us a face that you can look at and you can say, yeah, that's really a nice face, that really works well. And then the body, you can choose whichever body you like. I like this body, but you can choose whatever you like and get one that's shaped the way you prefer it. So then the hair, there's hair mods out there. Are any of them going to give you super realistic hair on the Xbox? Not that I've seen, no. But that's pretty good right there, and that's probably one of the best hair mods that's out there. So just trying to gather together the best I can. So we're trying to find the best texture for realism instead of what I think is the best texture, which is just for looking at and enjoying my character as a toon. But so we're moving on. I may try the HD version of my textures though, but definitely we'll let you know about that. So alright, be back shortly. Alright, so I'm back. Now this is with the HD version of, let me show you the mod, the skin mod, because that's really all we're looking at right now. I mean, everything else, I believe, is as good as we can get it. I don't know of anything that's really better. There's some subjective choices you can make, which we've kind of discussed, and you can always look at different hair mods if you wanted. But I was trying to pick the best, and same with the eyes. I was trying to pick the best. Biggest is not always best, but I knew that these were good options that gave you a lot of variety and had really nice looking things. Now this is the HD version of what I normally use. I don't normally use these HD versions, even though they're only a little bigger, because while I'm playing in 4K and this looks great, my recordings are still 1080p, and I don't think you will see much difference. So this is her though at the way we had her. I haven't changed her skin tone. We can make her super light, which I don't really think we had her super light, did we? We can make her darker. Probably could make her darker if we made her a red guard, but nonetheless, you get the idea. That's the skin texture is still going to be the same. It's going to be a lot smoother than the other one we were looking at, but you can still see it looks like there's a little skin texture to her, especially when you get up this close. But overall, looks very good. She loses some of the little freckles and stuff that you got with that other texture. I think you might be able to add some of that back in if you wanted. I didn't look at doing that. So this is the extreme fair, which is what I run at a lot of times. And you can see some little, like a couple of little maybe moles or something on her. You know, very light, nothing major. Let's see. So let's look at her face for a moment. No, that's not what. Complexion, head complexion. You can change this around all you want. You can give her freckles if you wanted. I don't usually do that, but you can do what you want. I think the dirt changes to moles. Yeah, it does. It changes to like moles if you want to do that. That's your choice. I don't care anything about that. Scars at this point are going to be actual scars because I removed the other thing, and war paint is just that, just going to be war paint. It's not going to be anything any different. So just so you know. Alright, so then from there I've not changed any of that. I wasn't going to change any of that. You can always choose a different mouth if you wanted, but I'm sticking with that one. That's a nice mouth. So we're finished up with her here. Now let's look at, oh, you know what I didn't look at though? Kind of unfair. Let's go middle of the road. If you do a middle of the road skin tone, you know, something kind of between the two, she still looks very much the same. And this is just the HD version. Like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to tell much difference in the video. But there you have it anyway. Now we're going to try a different skin texture because this is my just the normal one is really my personal favorite, but this HD version is slightly better. I didn't really feel like it was overall worth all the extra space because I really can't tell that much difference, but you can tell a little difference. Is that too light? Oh, okay, now that she's not in the light, it's not so bad. So anyway, let's save her here like this. I'm going to go get a different texture for us to look at, and I will come back because I have to do a complete reset and everything. So no point boring you with that. I'll be back in a few minutes. So I was looking at Divine Skins and looking at the one without the beast races, since we probably don't care so much about that. And the problem I see with this is that it appears to have its own body meshes built in, so it's probably going to overwrite the body shape I have for both my males and females, which is kind of bogus. I would rather just have the texture without that, but that looks like the only choice I have. So I thought we would try Divine Skins though, just so you would have a more of a complete look. Let me see, is there something else? Oh, that's an NPC Overhaul. And that's another overhaul. You know, that's a lighter overhaul. I wonder if that would fix the guys for me without using lens, which is a little bigger. This is a light version. That's a bigger version. It involves kids. It's a thought. Nonetheless, right now, though, I'm looking at this. So, Divine Skins without the beast races, because I don't care about the beast races for this. You could do this, Divine Skins and bodies, which is a little bigger. I think this includes the beast races. Does it matter? It depends on what you like. But I just wanted to try the people and see what the people look like. The only problem is I see that it has these meshes built in, which I don't like. But I'm going to go do a reset and I'll come back and we'll at least see what it looks like. Alright, we're loading back into Virago. Now, like I said, she's got the, she's got the little black eye bug, which happens sometimes with the cheat room. Let's just pop her down and bring her back. There we go. Now we'll head back. Anyway, what I was going to say was, if you look at her, you can see that she has the wrong body for what I do and for what I have, and the reason is we're looking at this mod here. Now this mod here, I could try moving my body below this texture mod. I'm not sure what those results would be, and honestly I don't feel like fighting with it, but you can at least look at the skin tone and see what you think of it. I just want to show you. This is the Divine. Let me make sure I get it right. I hate to say the wrong mod name, and then you're looking for it and you go, I can't find it. And it's like, well, I gave you the wrong mod name, so we don't want to do that. So Divine Skins, and this is without the Beast Races, Divine Skins, about 141 megabytes. Now, this is not strictly a show on any of these textures. You see a little clipping with the underwear in the back. I'm not sure why that is exactly. Maybe it's because I have my girl at her top weight. I don't know. But you can see the skin. The skin's pretty nice. The Divine Skin texture is good. I wish it was usable for other bodies. But I guess that this keeps control of it. I'm not a big fan of the six-pack abs on the girls, but hey, whatever. And then the underwear, I'm not a big fan of this underwear, but again, whatever, it's fine. I mean, it's whatever you like. Is it that big a deal? No, it's not. I don't see the underwear that often except on dead people, and I really don't care that much. She's got more muscular arms, but she's still got the Skyrim arms where when you come down to the wrist and the hands, they just look weird. They look strange. Anyway, let's see. Let's look at some different variations on the skin tone. Like this is the super bright skin tone. Okay, and there's not a huge difference here, but it is pretty bright. And then this is, we'll just go through these one at a time. It doesn't take but a moment. Let's go about, is that midway? Or is this more, midway, it's close enough. It's midway. Okay, so if you're going for this type of middle of the road, well-tanned appearance, then you've got this. I think the skin tone looks good. She looks good. Notice that none of this is still really photorealistic, okay? But none of this claims to be, alright? There is one that claims to be, and we are going to try it next, because it's probably the only other option I know of. Now, mind you, I'm not on a red guard. She is not a red guard, so she's never going to get as dark as the red guards get. So I apologize for that, but I guess I could have used, maybe I could change her to a red guard and see how that goes. Humor me. We'll give it a whirl. Let's make her a red guard. This may change her whole appearance, though. Oh, do I have to go back through all the work? If I have to go back through the whole thing... Wow, this is really slow. It's because, I'll tell you why it's really slow. You have all the hairs from the big hair mod, and you have all the eyes from the big eye mod. And yes, unfortunately, if to use this, I would have to go back through. I'm not going to do that right now. Not just for the sake of skin color. However, you can see the variation here, and you can see that you do get a little darker shade on the red guard. Not hugely darker, though. So, I mean, we don't exactly recreate the true skin tones in real life in this game. So, but anyway, that's something. She looks a little anorexic, though. Is that right? Wow. Okay, well, that's a little better. Nonetheless, all right, so we're going to go back to my Nord. Okay, we're going to keep her. Yes, that's fine. We're just going to, matter of fact, we're not even going to do a save here. We're going to do a load. Virago, where are you? You can't be that far away. Okay, we just did this. Alright, so anyway, you get the idea. So there's really probably only one more thing I know of to try. And that's the one that does claim to be photorealistic, but I can remember in times past using it that it was not. Nonetheless, I think we're talking about limitations on the Xbox here. I don't think you can get photorealistic. I've not seen any game produce true photorealistic stuff. I've seen some good Skyrim modding that really made the water and trees and grass look really good and really close. But was it truly photorealistic? Boy, that's hard to call, much less on the people. People, it's a whole nother story. So let's go with a fair skin HD. That's the one we're going to want to look at, because that's probably going to be the best choice. Fair skin. Matter of fact, maybe we should do curvy, because we're going to get rid of the divine people body thing. So let's do this. Alright, I don't want sweaty. If you want sweaty, you can always get sweaty. That's not my thing. So fair skin, complexion, HD, curvy. Okay, so this should be good. Port of the mod. Designed for curvier. Now this is ported by Vane 0.3805. Hopefully this is good. And this will not... Alright, this does affect the face. It has different things. Photorealistic. So, see, this claims to have certain photorealistic stuff. So we're going to use that. You don't have to stick around for all this. I will be back in a few minutes. I've got to download that, and then I've got to do a reset. So, no sense bothering you with that. Be back in a minute. Alright, so we're coming back in. Now, we may get the eye thing again, because I've turned off the eye mod that we had. Now, I wasn't going to do that, but the fair skin HD curvy texture says that it also messes with the eyes. So you're just going to have to give me a moment. Let me pop her in here. And we'll give her some eyes. There we go. I'm going to take her skin tone back. Okay, you can sort of see, if you look down, okay, this is going to sound gross, but just trust me. If you look down at her groin area, you will see some weird, this was always my problem with this mod, you'll see some weird lines and stuff that doesn't make sense. That's why I don't use this. Anyway, since we're here though, let's just stick with it for the moment. That's her bright skin tone, and this is her darker skin tone. Of course, we are in kind of a lighted situation, so bear with me. I wanted to see, because they mentioned that they changed the eyes. Oh, well, okay, that's a little odd. But that's probably where it doesn't agree with R246's work exactly. But most of these are pretty good. And I do have this below R246's. If I put R246's mod down below this, that probably would not happen. So there is that to take into account as well. There's so many different things you have to consider. Okay, so they do give you some decent eyes, and you don't have to have another eye mod, which is nice. However, the real problem that I see is that skin issue. The brows are okay, the mouth is okay. They say they do mess with the mouth and everything. I'll take you and show you that on the mod. Personally, my biggest problem, and if you'll notice, look down at the feet are wrong. They're kind of messed up. I don't have this problem with other textures. Let's see, let me see if I can show you this. I know I can. Hold on a second. Make sure you can see it well enough to understand what I'm referring to. Like, okay. Don't move. You're supposed to hold still. Just the camera's supposed to move. Okay. This isn't a perfect mod either, but it works really well. Anyway, look at the feet. The feet look wrong. Now, mind you, I did a reset. This is just a problem with some texture mods. Just like in that area. Do you see all that? It looks almost like this was made for CBBE instead of UNP or something like that. And it gives us these weird issues. But I will show you the mod. I don't think it was. Let's look at the mod real fast from here even. We can see. if for some reason I grabbed something that's incorrect, that's fine. That would just prove that I grabbed the wrong thing, but I don't think so. I usually try to pay attention to these textures and get the right ones. But it's not impossible. I have made mistakes. It's not impossible. So this is a port designed for curvier. Doesn't really say one way or the other. It says photorealistic, but I don't really think this is very photorealistic. It does give you some brows and eyes, which is why I turned off the other thing. I thought this said that it was for UMP, but instead it's looking like maybe it doesn't say anything, which is possible. Alright, that's fine. It doesn't really say. Oh, yeah, I'm still on the free camera. But anyway, I don't think that she's really photorealistic in this either. Definitely, I think some people like this, and it does have its own appeal. Whoops. But I think it's a little, I don't know, it's a little, it just has a couple of flaws I don't like. If it didn't have those flaws, I don't know, I might use it, especially that smaller version that's not HD, because it was actually okay. But I think there's another flaw in that it makes... Okay, I can't get there from here. I really can't. Oh, that's so funny. This camera thing. Anyway. Sometimes it makes the under boob skin look really weird, but this version doesn't appear to do that so much, so that's better. Anyway, let's just go back to normal. I can deal with this better. Alright. Okay, so this is the really fair skin version, and she does look good. But, you know, we can make her darker, and look at that. I don't think you're going to find that much difference, though, still. So I think it's still going to have that weird discoloration down here in the groin area. And then the rest of it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. I don't know, due to that weird look down here, I always use Beauty of Skyrim. This would be another option if it didn't have that flaw. But, and that flaw used to be, at least it looks skin colored now, that flaw used to be black. And it was very disconcerting when I noticed that. Anyway, that was a long time ago though, and I'm sure they have changed this mod a lot since then. And it could be that there is some incompatibility with this texture and the other mods that I use. It may not be anything wrong with this texture. It may just be that the combination of this texture with the other mods I use is not good. That's okay. That's life. If that's the way it is, that's the way it is. So I'm gonna hop out of this, and I'm basically going to put her back the way I like things, and I'm going to show you that again. I don't see any real photorealism. As far as different armor and clothing mods, we kind of went over that. You can always look through my videos. There are a bunch of other mods on that. And matter of fact, as far as clothing goes, I was remembering something today. Let's see if this will do it for me. I may have to say clothes instead of clothing. Let's see. This is interesting. I haven't tried it. This is, well, that's a patch. That's not the real thing. If you do the imitation, so it's interesting. See if I can find what I'm after. It's an older mod by the same person that did the Beauty of Skyrim. They have, I believe it's a clothes retexture. If we can find it here. Now, mind you, I can only see so many mods here before this ends, like right there. Let's try clothes instead and see if that does us better. If that doesn't work, maybe I'll try retexture. Sometimes if you do that, that helps. Clothes. Clothes, the clothes make the man. Yeah, it's by this mod author. The UP1304. They have a big clothing change up or retexture, if I can find it. This is not the friendliest interface that we have to look through, I know. I actually think I saw it out on PC is what it was. So this is the true imitations mod, and it changes some of your clothing and makes it pretty cool. So, but it depends on what you like. There's a couple of different things. I haven't tried this one, but it sounds interesting. Oh, here we go. Armors and Clothes Overhaul Retexture. That's the French one, and this is the English one. It's about 650. Now this will, and now it tells you the mods. It's a I guess it's kind of a mod mashup. It has, they use that vampire armor and skull clothes, and it tells you what they use in this mod. Okay. Now, it includes opulent outfits. Does this really include all vanilla clothes? It says it does. All vanilla clothes and armor. Anyway, you could certainly try this out. I think I did a show on this, but it's been a while, so you would have to look to find it. But anyway, this is something you could look at. It's interesting. I did not prefer it overall, obviously. I actually really seem to prefer Nord War's work the most. At least recently, until somebody else comes up with something else. That's some of my favorite stuff. Let's see. So I looked at the fair skin, like I said. We looked at the HD. There is a lighter version that isn't 200 megabytes. Let's look at fair skin Curvy, and I'll show you that. There is a smaller version. I don't know if you'll be able to tell much difference or not. The HD version looks good, except for the flaws I pointed out. I think the non-HD still has the same issues, but it's much smaller. It's under 8 megabytes, but I think it has the same issue. So, I don't know that you would, and I know they all claim to be photorealistic, but it depends on what you consider. On the Xbox, I guess it's as good as we're going to get, but it's not truly photorealistic. For some reason, if you don't use curvy bodies, you can use one of these others. I don't know why there's a difference in that. I would think the skin texture is still the skin texture, but maybe there's some difference in the way they do the shading and the shadows and stuff. I don't know. Alright, so let's see. Is there anything else? I'm going to put this back to the way I had it, and I'm going to show you what I use again and what I stay with, really, because for me it's the best looking without taking up a lot of ridiculous amount of space. I admit that I don't have all the big beautiful eyes like you do on this mod, this big mod we're using, if you scroll down here. But the natural eyes actually do look pretty good. So yeah, let me put that back and I'll show you, and you can kind of see what the trade-offs are and what you think. It's really going to be up to you what you decide. That's as close as you're going to get to photorealism is probably actually that unslawed pale skin. Now, and the reason I say that is it looks more realistic because it's not perfect. It looks a little more realistic, and you can play around with that complexion. So that's probably the best skin for you if you're really wanting photorealism and you don't want, like, I like my girls to look really overly toony good, I guess, and that's just me. So that's my preference because I'm playing a game. I get realism all the time. That's not what I play a game for. That's just me. I'm just telling you, I'm the old grumpy dude, and that's just the way I roll. But I understand other people definitely have their preference. They prefer other things. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to fix this back up to the way I want it. I'm probably going to have to reset my whole game after this, but for now, anyway, let me just put everything back the way it was, and I'll show you so that you can then compare parts of the video. If you click around, you can compare different parts of the video to the different skin textures and the way I had things. All right, back in a minute. We are back to normal. This is the way I usually have my girls looking. So this is Virago back to normal, with the paler skin, with the opie body, red hair from KS Hairdos Light, and green eyes from the I don't even think it's really from, I'm just going to be straight with you, I think the eyes I'm getting right now are actually from a mod where it opens up all the eyes for everybody. But let's just go through. I'll show you the mods I'm using, and you can see. Again, this is back to what I normally use for my characters, and just to reiterate what we did at the beginning, the Nord War. I think the Nord War armors are the best looking armors in the game, and if you can get all of these mods and put them in your game, now these are the lower end, there are bigger versions of these mods. I could not fit all the big versions in, so I have all the small versions, I believe, but all of these cover nearly all of the normal armors in the game. Now you can do what you want about clothing. As a matter of fact, you might want to use that clothing mod that I talked about and put it up here so that then you could allow the rest of your armors to overwrite that mod if it affects any armors, but you'd still get its clothing. And that may be something I will do in a moment. But nonetheless, there's also this. This is a good magician outfit, which is good for the ladies. I liked that. I did a show on that recently. You can look at that. That's a good one. Let's see. So again, the NPCs, I'm using Botox. I use this just to get the guys to look good. So I might look at the smaller Divine People Replacer that does just that, that makes the guys look better. I might look at replacing it with that. But this one, I liked Lynn's. I thought it looked good. Then we come down here to my character. I'm back to using KS Hairdos Light. I still use this for those that do not get the special hairdos. Then I have the Light Definitive Beauty Pack. I have the R246 Concept, which technically, if you don't want to use these and you want to use that, you can put this lower even in your load order. You could put it way down towards the bottom, and it would actually probably do you better. I'm sure R246 would say it would. And I can't disagree with the modder on their mod. I'm sorry. The only thing is, I'm kind of winging it and doing my own thing, which I do a lot. And I know that can be frustrating for some people, but if I can make it work for me and I'm okay with it, then it's my game. That should be okay, you know. Alright, and if you put this below these mods, then R246 really whoops those mods, and you don't get those things. So that's why I have it the way I have it. Let's see. I'm using that body still. I'm back to using these eyes. Technically, I am back to using these eyes. However, I think this opens up a lot of things. Does it open up any eyes, though? It enables more eye color options. So I think we're getting some more eye color options from this mod, as well as the natural eyes replaces all the vanilla eyes with high res natural eyes. So I think you're getting a little bit of a combo there. And then on my skins, I'm back to the normal. I didn't even do the HD version because I just don't see the need in it. I don't see that much difference. And yes, I'm saying difference, which is probably not a real word. It should be difference, but guys, I am what I am. That's just the way it is. Alright. So, there. I think she looks great. I don't think you're going to get photorealistic. I think this is about as good as you're going to get, is this type of thing. You're going to see, like I said, like if you go messing with the eyes because of the way I have my mods, you're going to see some weirdness with some of the eyes, but that's my choice. I work around that. And let me just show you, see if I can find some of that. Yeah, like right there. See how those aren't positioned right in the skull? Just don't use those. The reason that happens is because of the way I have the other mods with R246's mod. It's not a problem per se. It's my choice to work around this problem so that I have a few more options. So I do have that problem, but I just don't use those eyes, and so it's not really an issue for me. So, but see, I have the option of using the cat eyes and some different things like that, and that's why I do that. To give myself more options, I will put up with a little bit of that because I just won't use that. And then I will use the eyes that I want to use, which I don't have a problem with. But see, some of these don't sit right, so I just don't use those. Don't worry about those. Use the ones that sit in the skull properly and you won't have any trouble. There's plenty of those. I think I was using a green set out here somewhere. Yeah, I think I was using those. So I'm going to keep those for. Oh, and for the hair, of course, I had to change the hairstyle because I had changed the hair mod. And I had to change the... What's the right word? I had to change the hair color a little bit because that hair mod had a lot of colors with it, I believe. So that's just the way it is. Nothing I can do about that. So I did. I changed what I needed to change, and I think she looks fine. I think she looks just as good as if I used those high space using mods. I don't see a significant difference. You definitely won't see a significant difference in my videos. Again, I record at 1080p, but even though I'm using 4K, I'm not seeing a significant difference in these things. It's not enough for me to justify the space. So I think that's as good as it gets, especially for the space you use. I tend to, nowadays I'm really putting more of my space. This is just my justification, and you can do whatever you want. I'm putting more of my space into those armors, and I'm saving space for like landscaping textures and trees and grass and stuff, which I'm gonna, like I said, after this, I'm gonna have to blow away my game, and I'm gonna start over and do something fresh. I might do a few more shows before I do that, but that's what I'm planning on doing. And I want to do a rebuild and try some different grass and trees and some different textures. I might get back to that Clever Sharf all-in-one that came back out. That is back up. So you'll see I'll keep some of these mods because I like some of them, but some of these mods are going to go away, and maybe I'll try something else. And let's see, is there anything else to tell you? Not really. I think that's about as good as it gets. If people know of mods that are photorealistic, as in you're going to look like you have a real person in your game, let me know. I've definitely not seen that on the Xbox, and I've actually not even seen that from things I've seen on computer. So I just don't know that that's going to happen. I've seen them get really good stuff on the computer now, but photorealistic, now when you say that to me, that means it looks like it's an actual photo of a real person. I haven't seen that. So, and I've seen some artists do some pictures that looked fairly photorealistic, and I just smacked my hand for some reason. Don't know why that is. Because I'm crazy, I guess. So, okay. Anyway, I hope that this has been at least somewhat helpful and showing you the mods and the way I have them ordered. Hopefully that is helpful. It's not that you're going to necessarily follow my exact load order or something, but that it gives you an idea of how I'm doing things, and you can do whatever you want. So if we get into other things other than the females, then there's a whole lot of other things to consider, but I wasn't getting into that. I was staying very focused on just trying to get the nicest looking females you can. I really think my setup, and I really love these armors. I think these armors look good on the guys and the girls. Does Virago have anything? Hold on a second, because that's something I really didn't take the time to show you. No, all she's got is this junk. Hold on a second. I'm just going to make a basic... I'm just going to show you just a basic hide armor and boots. And we'll do... yeah, we'll do a helmet. Can we do a shield? I don't know if I really like that shield. We'll do it. I don't know if I like that shield. But nonetheless, if you just see the outfit, even without the helmet, I think you'll see what I mean. I don't care what body you're using or what you use. I know this kind of forces a vanilla style body. I don't care. I mean, I just think that looks really good. Whoops. Sorry about that. I just think that looks really good. It's really nice, and there's a lot of armors like that in those mods that I'm using that look really... they look good. They appear kind of fantasy style, but at the same time they have a certain amount of realism to them that I like. Let's see, I can't make all these for free, can I? Oh, I can make some of these for free. Let's just go ahead and do that. And we'll show you the stage one too. Now, I'm not going to show you everything. I have a whole show on these. You can go look at those shows, seriously. But I just want to give you a quick view of why I like these. Just in this one area, these armors are just so nice. They have their own style, and they're just very nice. They look good on guys and girls. That's why I use them, because I actually play both. The main reason I have the girls is for the shows. I feel like people prefer the girls for the shows, really, but I do have guys, and I do use the guys in the shows too. Especially lately, I've been fooling around with Chuck being a Imperial Guardsman, which is funny, but nonetheless, you'll see some of that. All right, you know, I think I'm going to end it here. As far as making a nice-looking girl, I think the mods I have, those are the ones I prefer. You may just have to test and try and see what you like better. Now, the reason mine are in the order they are is because that's what works. You may have a different load order or follow a different load order guide, and I cannot guarantee your results will be the same. Maybe if you move things up and down, and I don't know, you'll have to play around. But the reason I have them the way I do is that it works for me, the way I have it, the way I play my game, the way I do the shows. It works for me this way. And I just have a certain logic that I'm using. Part of this comes from if you look at KS Hairdos Lot, they give you a little short snippet of a load order right there, which is important for doing your character. You want to do your hair, you want to do anything like this. That's like adorable females. It's very similar. You want to do any like presets, and then you want to do your body replacer and your eyes. Now that's just a general quick rundown, but that's basically what you see me doing. Now the only difference here is that if you don't use these two mods and you just want to use R246 concept, I would suggest, because R246 says really to put it further down at the bottom, I would suggest putting it further down too. So, you know, oh, and here they mention the heterochromatic eyes have never worked with their mod, and that's fine. That's where we're getting some of those flaky eyes that I showed you. I don't care that that doesn't work. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm not like they're not concerned enough how to mess with it. I'm not concerned enough to worry about it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I also noticed some of the other conflicts, like Ethereal Elven Overhaul. They're not going to work together. Stuff like that. So, there you go. Anyway, that's still the best preset. Female preset. You don't have to use these things. These are things I do out of my preference. This is the best female preset that'll give you the best faces. Hands down, I haven't seen anything that beats it. You can try to make your own vanilla faces, and you can do a very good job and have some good looking faces. It takes a little time and effort and practice. But are they ever going to look this good? I would have to say no. And you can go back and look at some of my previous videos, and I have a few that looked okay. They looked pretty good, but they don't look this good. So you just can't beat R246's work. So that's all there is to that. And that's probably the main thing. If you're looking at the face, if you're looking at the body, then the main thing is to just find a body mesh that you like. Try to get one that doesn't have textures and all this other stuff. That way you can go choose the texture you want to use, which is what I do. And I always use the same one. I've used it now for years, and every time I try something else, I just keep coming back to it. It doesn't matter. So, all right. I've rattled on long enough about all this. At least, if nothing else, you kind of understand what I'm doing and how I think about it. And I just don't, some things I don't regard worth all the extra space. So that's just me. It's like, I don't need eyes. Like, look, how much can you see her eyes right here? Is that worth a quarter? You know, is it worth 225 megabytes, say, to you? It's not to me, because I can't see it that well, and I'm not going to really be up in her face that much. The only reason I stand her up against the wall over here is that's convenient, and it allows me to show her a little better for the shows. You know, in a normal gameplay situation, I'm really not going to do this a lot. And even if I did, those eyes look perfectly fine to me. They look great. So I don't consider it worth all the megabytes. Hair. How many different hairstyles do I really need? I mean, I have 25 different nice hairstyles. Well, maybe count one or two of those off because I don't like the really short ones. But nonetheless, that's another preference thing. That's just me being me. Stuff like that. You know, it's not that big a deal. Anyway, you get the idea. How much space is hair worth to you? I'm spending over 200 megabytes just to have those hairstyles, 25 for girls and 25 for men. It's not worth 500 megabytes or a gig to me to have a bunch more hairstyles. Now, see, it depends on your preference and what you want. I want to do some good stuff and have my characters look good, but I want to be able to do some grass, some trees, some other textures, and try some other things out. So that's why I do things the way I do, and why I keep some things skinny down, but I think they still look nice. Alright. Now really, seriously, I've run on long enough. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful. I know it's been long, so I hope you stuck through it. And I know that you've got some messages for me on Discord that I need to respond to, and I'm going to do that before you ever see this video, because this all, I have to go through all the editing and put all this together, so it'll be days before this comes out. But nonetheless, just so you know, I am aware of things. It's just I work. I have a full-time job. It's actually more than a full-time job, but you get the idea. So I just do these things as I can when I can. Alright. Anyway, again, sorry about that. Thanks for... I'm just going on and on and on. Thanks for watching, though. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Remember to stay safe, and I will catch you later. Alright, welcome to the addendum that I did not know I was going to do. But I went to Discord and looked at... this was from the Astronomical Adventure, but also on Discord. And on Discord, they're listed as Isildur. So the mods you gave me, I'm just gonna direct this to you, to that person, but anybody could possibly gather some information out of this. For the way we do our characters. For the mods you gave me KS Hairdo Light. I left that turned on, but that doesn't matter. I use this in place of adorable females. Your presets would go here, and then your skin textures would be down here. Your body replacer would be here, and your skin textures would be down here. Okay. Now, I'm using the same ones you're using. I've just got them in the proper order. Now, the thing is, what you were talking about, if you move these around, here's the problem. Ashara included a face texture in this mod, but we have no idea what texture that is. We don't know how to match it because we have no idea what it is and if it's even available on the Xbox. But see, it has some face textures. So, whatever texture we use has to overwrite that. That's one of the good things about Beauties of Skyrim, is it does overwrite that. Then, we also have another issue in that this body, I would choose a body if you can find one. Now, if you can't find one, then that's fine. But I would try to find one without a texture. This does have a texture built into it. Now, you could use that texture instead of Beauties of Skyrim if you wanted to. I don't know how you would like it. You would just have to try and see. But it does have its own texture. So if you want to use the Beauties of Skyrim texture, then again, it has to be in this order so that it will be overwritten correctly, so you'll get the correct skin texture. Now, if you don't like this skin texture, then just don't use it. Just turn it off and try something else. But it sounded like, or at least from the list you gave me, that that was what you were trying to use. Now, if you put the Ashara presets down below all of that, of course you're going to get weird. Your heads and their faces aren't going to look correct. It's going to look weird. It has to be in this order. If we knew what texture that was, we could match it. You could try just using the texture that's in this and turn the Beauties of Skyrim off. I don't know if you'd like it. I haven't looked at this texture that's built in here. I just know that at this size, it's got to have some textures built in. Let's see what it says about that. Low resolution textures version here. It says it's using some high resolution version. Actually, you don't need this if you're going to overwrite the textures anyway. You don't need the high resolution one. You could have just gotten the smaller one. And I'm not trying to be smart. Again, trying to help you save some space. Let's look at Demon 99. Let me scroll back over here. It takes me a minute to find it, so bear with me. But it's here. Or at least it was last time, so I think it's still here. Yeah, okay. So instead of using this one, the high def one, since you're overwriting those textures anyway, I would use this one. This is the lower texture one. And honestly, you don't even need any texture from this body. But I would use this one instead if I'm really going to use this and use a different texture. Now, the beauties of Skyrim, the texture you're seeing there, that is the texture that I see in my game all the time. So there's nothing unusual about that. Let me go in. We're going to create somebody new. It's going to be one of Ashar's presets. So just bear with me. Mind you, it's just the character creator mods that we're messing around with. I did do a reset, so hopefully everything will be clean. If not, I'll do another one. I don't think I messed anything up. But you have to have your mods in that order. You have to have it KS Hairdos, then you have to have, well, the way I had it in my load order, that's how you have to have it. I don't want to have to try to tell you that from memory again because I might mess it up. Let's just switch it over. Alright, so if you prefer these, presets, there's nothing wrong with this. You can use any of these you want to use. Let's say we go with this one. Just say. Alright. If I'm going to do war paint, I want a different color than that. Maybe I'll do something like that. And then I'm just going to kind of let the rest of this ride, except let's get some hair. Let's get some nice hair. There we go. That'll be fine. It's a little, maybe do something. There we go. We'll do something like that. I probably wouldn't use the, now that I'm seeing that again, I probably wouldn't use the war paint at all. That's just me. I don't use it. So there you go. I would just turn it off. Alright, so anyway, so let's say you use this. This is fine. Okay, so that's fine. I prefer the redder lip, but you can do what you like. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of what you want. Anyway, so let's go with this. Since this is what you were going with, I'm okay with that. Not that it really matters anyway, whether I'm okay with it. We'll call her Vera for the moment. I don't have a Vera, so this will be fine. Now, so this is what she looks like right now. We're going to get her out of here and get her to...
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin. Even a modest existence is something to admire.
Just takes a minute to get through this, sorry. Nothing we can really do about it. Well, I can have some coffee while she loads in. There we go. Alright, so let's go. Level up. Why am I leveling up already? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's do cheat teleport. Let's go to the cheat room. Alright, now note that we're still using my armor that has the different body shape. So let's take that off. And this is the body that you actually have, and this is the correct texture. Now maybe this isn't the skin texture you wanted, but that is what we have. Okay, and she does look correct. To me, this looks correct. Now if you were looking for this face like this, then you've got that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with this body or the skin texture. It looks okay. So I'm not sure what. Let me try something. If we move the mods around, this is going to look weird, okay? But we're going to do it. We're just going to do it. This is why you don't want to do this, because I'm pretty sure when I do this, it's gonna it's gonna create a bit of a mess. But yeah, the problem is the Ashara's mod and the other mod, they both have textures built in. So one thing we could do, now we could try this, is we could turn off Beauties of Skyrim if you don't like that. But you seem to like that, so I don't know. You have to experiment with that. The mods have to be in this order, though. They really do. They have to be in this order. Hair mods, if you're going to do adorable females or something like that, like this Defended Beauty pack, and then you need your presets, whatever they might be, and then you need your body, whatever it is, and your eyes, and then your textures. You pretty much have to do about that order. I don't know of much of a way around that. I think if we move these presets down, kind of like you showed me, I think this is going to be really problematic. But let's just see. Let's reload it. Now, this isn't with a reset, so it may or may not show the problem, but let's see if it shows the problem. Alright, so let's see if this will show the problem with that character. We didn't really change any mods, we just moved them around. We might have to do a reset to see this. Oh, and by the way, I couldn't contact you on Discord for some reason, so I don't know. I tried to direct message you or ping you, and it wouldn't let me, so there you go. Alright, well this doesn't show any issue, so maybe I do have to do a reset. Let's do a reset and see. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And, oh, you know what? I'm just going to cut to the chase on this because I kind of just went through this whole thing and then I realized I wasn't recording, so it's kind of a frustration. The reason that you're getting the weird disparity between your textures is just in your load order. I'm going to do a quick load up here and just show you, and then we're going to go and I'm going to show you the texture, the skin texture you probably want to use unless you can find out what texture Ashara is using. So the problem here is that Ashara's skin texture is overriding the face, and it's not matching the body. That's why it looks different. That's why it looks weird. So how you have to have, let me show you. I've already went through this once, but I wasn't recording, so I'm doing it now. So let me show you the way your mods need to be so that you don't have that problem. And I do have the mods in the proper order now. I just haven't done a reset, so that the appearance of the issue is still the same. But this is the proper order that you have to have these mods in. You have to have your hairs, your this beauty pack or adorable females. You have to have your presets. And you have to have your body, whatever your body is. Now, I know in this case your body has a texture, and you could use that smaller one without that texture. You don't need it. And then you'd put your eyes, of course, and then your skin textures. Okay. If you follow this order, you'll be okay on your character's body and hair and stuff. Okay. The problem is, Ashara, when you put it down below, down here, it overwrites the face, only the face. Because it only has a face texture in it, it doesn't have a body texture. They only included a face texture. We don't know what texture that is, so I can't match it. Now, the closest thing I've seen, though, that you might like, and you might have to play around with it a little bit, is a texture mod that I actually was showing earlier in this video, if you back up to find it. And that's this. Mind you, you don't have to do pale skin, but nonetheless, this is unslawed pale skin for UMP. It's 4K. It's a decent size mod, but it's not too big. But you can give your character a more realistic appearance if that's what you want. It's going to be as realistic as you can get. When I was playing around with it, if you go look earlier in the video, you can see that it's a more realistic look. Okay? Because now I think I understand what you're after. So that would give you a more realistic look. It's not going to be 100% perfect. Nothing is, and it's not going to be photorealistic, not truly. But I think you will like the look of this texture for what you're looking for. So give it a whirl, just try that and see. Remember, when you use this texture, to put it down below all the other stuff. It's still a skin texture. You just put it down here, get rid of these two. Don't use this. Just put the unslot here and use it and see what you think of it. I think you'll like it better if I'm understanding what you're asking for. Alright, so again, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope that's been helpful, and I will catch you later. Alright, you've been duly warned. This is the shill, okay? Please subscribe to the channel and watch more videos. I mean, what else are you going to do with your time anyway? It's either this or take a nap. And don't be saying you're napping down in the comments.